Okay, so spawning in the bottom left position as our yellow Zerg player. Been giving NaNiwa a lot of trouble dealing with basically what he's been throwing at him. It's been pretty strong, but NaNiwa managed to pick that last game up. So can this guy, can he finish this series? Can he take it all? It is FXOLoWeLy. And spawning in the top right position as the red Protoss player. Was down 1-2, almost a little bit scared of that cheese that we saw last game from loWeLy, but really great control, held himself together quite nicely. It is NaNiwa. So he's got that pylon in his base again. NaNiwa really favoring this speedling. This gateway expand. Somebody else thinking about loWeLy's speedlings. And loWeLy's been favoring a lot of speedling pressure. And NaNiwa, there he goes. There's the gateway. This map is very large, though, so I'm not surprised. loWeLy's actually going to go for a 14 pool. This is, I think, one of the first times we've seen something like this from loWeLy. So, pretty funny. But now, NaNiwa going to go scout that probe. Just checking things out, seeing what's up in this wonderful planet of Whirlwind. I feel like this map could probably be a really nice place. I don't know any places on Earth that have giant bottomless cliffs like this, but I feel like this would be a pretty cool place to visit. I don't know, but ZvP on this map, very easy to go for the late game macroeconomic styles. Very hard to push into Zerg players once they get up a 4th base, just because it's such a long map. NaNiwa might try to go for another big Colossus push, and it wouldn't surprise me, but the Ling Infestor style really shines on larger maps because you have more mobility. You can throw Zerglings around for lots of counterattacks. You can even go Mutalisks. I don't think loWeLy is going to mix it up simply because he has won 2 games. So he's been assured, as it were, that his play style does work. He just needs to be a little more careful, watch himself going for this, and basically just hold himself together. So Chrono boosting that Warp Gate now is NaNiwa. Very interesting that he would Chrono boost Warp Gate so quickly. He actually has a probe tucked into the main of loWeLy, but the Zerglings spot it. It's not going to work. I feel like he won't Chrono boost Warp Gate again because of that, but he's continuing to Chrono boost. Oh my goodness, is this happening? Are we going to have a 4-gate on Whirlwind? This probe will die. He needs to send out another one right now. There we go. One is on the way. NaNiwa's 4-gating. 4-gate me not. This is going to be interesting. I've never actually seen a Protoss 4-gate a Zerg on Whirlwind. This probe's trying to get away. He needs to be careful that the... this probe might actually get saved by the Zealot Stalker. Let's be close. No, it barely won't. Gets the probe. Kills one of the Zerglings, though. But that Zergling is actually running towards NaNiwa's base. He needed to... the Stalker better kill that thing very quickly. He's going to see no expansion. And with the Zealot Stalker moving out into second Stalker, if he sees these gateways, this is going to be a little bit crazy. The Zergling comes in. It sees that Warp Gate's being Chrono boosted. But he did not see the additional gateways. However, this is a situation where you might as well throw down some Spine Crawlers. And there we go, loWeLy putting down 2 Spine Crawlers. NaNiwa placing the proxy pylon. It will not be in time for his Warp Gate. His Warp Gate's complete. The pylon's not done yet. The gateways are shifting. The Queens kill a Stalker. NaNiwa, a little bit of sloppy control there. Moving this probe in even further, dropping more proxy pylons. With 2 Spine Crawlers, these Zerglings, and these 2 Queens. The Zealot might actually get this Queen very close. No, barely doesn't get it. I don't actually know if NaNiwa is going to be able to kill him. 4 Zealots warped in. I don't think he can kill him with this. He might just try to run by this, but it's going to be a bit crazy. The drones are being pulled actually, so this is a bit crazy. But I think loWeLy has enough to stop this. The Zealots carving through the Zerglings, but the Queens are here to provide additional support. The Stalker needs to poke up and try to kill this this Queen, but I don't actually think it has vision of it. No, it did not. So transfuses that Queen. And now the probe actually warps himself in from the back. There are Zealots in the main base. Gets a sentry trying to kill this this Queen. But with the two Spine Crawlers here, this is so ridiculous. Manages to get that Queen. NaNiwa is going to try to continue this assault through the main base of loWeLy. But this is absolutely ridiculous. 3 sentries now, a couple of Zealots. The Spine is going to try to move it up into the main base. The Zealots trying to get us surrounded, but there's so many Zerglings here. I think NaNiwa throwing out some more force fields. The Zealots are, they're doing a decent bit of job fighting this with the Queens to support and this Spine Crawler about to finish. I'm just not sure that NaNiwa is going to be able to win this game. loWeLy holds. And 22 Zerglings are on the way now. Zergling speed is complete. NaNiwa cannot transition out of this. He's going to try to throw on a Nexus, maybe. He's going to go for the forward pylon first. But when these speedlings show up, that's pretty much game over for NaNiwa. He has enough gas to open a sentry. He might be able to get a second one, but he cannot afford to have this go on long enough to actually hold us together. And we're going to see LoWeLy actually throw up a Baneling nest. So I feel like this is it. LoWeLy may actually defeat NaNiwa here. I was certainly not expecting this, but can he do what he needs to do to finish this game off? Pylon wall going up here now for NaNiwa, but LoWeLy, he's got that Baneling nest coming up. He can just sort of bust through this. There's the lair as well, so here it comes. He's going to move in. He sends one Zergling to poke. The sentries are there. He doesn't want to get force fielded into some awful choke point or some tight little ball of death or whatever. NaNiwa still has the gateways available to produce units behind the wall, but he may just... Oh, it looks like he was going to queue up a Stargate. Canceled that. I wonder what he's going to do. He's just kind of waiting for energy to warp in another sentry. Now he has 4 sentries, and 4 sentries can indefinitely hold a normal-sized ramp. So LoWeLy kind of saying, you know what? It's not worth trying to force it. I'm going to pull back. Zergling dies. And NaNiwa is just going to try to expand behind this. And LoWeLy still... well, he didn't actually make too many drones, so... It's kind of interesting. He only has 14 drones mining minerals in his main, 11 at the natural. He's producing only 2 right now. So NaNiwa... I mean, he's a player that's good enough to come back from this kind of position. LoWeLy kind of missed his opportunity to kill him, honestly. I thought that NaNiwa was dead after that. But NaNiwa's still in this game. He's getting his Twilight Council up, and he's going to take this slowly and methodically. I feel like LoWeLy, he's just pulling back. And I'm not 100% sure. Maybe he suspected some sort of Warp Prism drop. He had Zergling split between each base, but Hallucination is now on the way. Actually, gets canceled immediately. And here come the Zerglings again. I feel like he should try to put some pressure on this natural expansion before a wall gets up. NaNiwa, given enough time, he's going to be able to get up an economy. A nice one, too. So, LoWeLy now, a bunch of Zerglings headed over. I would love to see him try to put on some aggression, but I don't know. +1 attack. I mean, there's no Forge, so you can't get any upgrades. Evolution Chamber is on the way. Infestation Pit's on the way. LoWeLy might try to bide his time, get up Infestors, and try to just kill him maybe with a drop, but we'll have to see. This game's kind of a bit awkward. I feel like LoWeLy is playing a bit unnecessarily passive, but he's making sure he won't overcommit, of course. It's not possible for him to throw this game just yet, as long as he keeps up his macros, upgrades, etc., etc. There's still no actual tech available for NaNiwa. He's getting Hallucination. He has these 4 gateways, but he only has a Forge. There's no Robotics Facility. I think he got did he get a Twilight Council at some point? No, did he cancel that? For some reason, I thought he got a Twilight Council. But he's going to go for Robotics Facility now, starting at the 11:45 mark. There are going to be Infestors out soon. This is going to be really difficult to deal with. Third base on the way for LoWeLy. Then 2 Spines and a Spore here. I mean, he's in a really strong position right now. I feel like LoWeLy's generally passive sort of play can allow NaNiwa to claw back into the game, but NaNiwa uses the Hallucinated Phoenix to scout, and this is important because NaNiwa has opened with Phoenix so many times before. As soon as this thing rolls in and LoWeLy sees it, he's probably going to throw out a Spore at each base. That's smart. He actually uses 2 Hallucinated Phoenix, so that really makes it look like he's going for this kind of play. So I have to say, not bad at all. He's going to kill that one, maybe the Queens. So we should see might see some Spores. He might notice that these are hallucinations, though. They're not doing any damage to his Overlord, and then he sees that one die. So you should know that they're hallucinated. He doesn't need to build Spore Crawlers to defend. And a Robotics Bay is on the way for NaNiwa. So he's not in any position to take a third, but he could play defensively. LoWeLy taking that third now with the saturation, the drones moving on up. And we have a couple of Infestors out, Passing Glands is done, and there we go, Ventral Sacs once more. And we should also see Pneumaticized Carapace in the same hand for LoWeLy. You can research it here. He's actually getting Queens first, so he cannot get the upgrade just yet. But Pneumaticized Carapace actually researches really, really quickly. It's not difficult at all to get Overlord speed. And I have to say, one thing LoWeLy has really been on top of is these Zerglings. You just have them patrolling around random areas on the map all series long. Every single game we've been seeing great map awareness by LoWeLy, so he kind of has an idea of, okay, well, do I need to do something right now? Is this a situation where I need to build units? Well, no, but LoWeLy, the way he's been playing this, he's been building them anyway. He prepares a bunch of Banelings, he prepares the Overlords, and there we go, Pneumaticized Carapace about to complete. Now, that's how fast it is. I'm like, he didn't even research it, and I look over again, it's almost done. It's such a fast upgrade, and it's such a good upgrade to get for Zerg players. Really allows you to get map vision and really just have control of what's going on. You can block bases with creep spread. There's almost no reason not to get Overlord speed, unless you're someone, I guess, that accidentally rallies them to your opponent's base with your Zerglings. But Banelings are on the way now. Ventral Sax is 10 seconds away from starting, so from completing. So we should see possibly some Banelings load up. Lowly, though, he actually hasn't been too aggressive with his Zerglings. He's mostly been just kind of waiting for an attack. He waits for the attack, drops on it, and gets a positional edge. But Changeling for Lowly getting up here, sees his pylon from NaNiwa. NaNiwa might be going to take a third base. The Observer sees these Overlords, and he should be aware. Okay, well, Lowly has gone for Baneling drops almost every game of this series. I should be ready for this. Spire and Hive, though, are on the way for Lowly, so the more time he gets to build up his gas bank, the more difficult this game can become for NaNiwa. These Overlords loaded up for a drop. NaNiwa should see this and recognize it. There are units prepared in the main base for it. Third base creeped up by this Overlord, put in hold position to delay it as much as he can. He's going to actually catch these units here, so nice move. And with the Overlord speed, he could actually bring this Overlord in and block it. This Overlord drop, you just kind of wait, bide its time as long as NaNiwa's forces are here. He's still very aware because his Observer can see that the Overlords actually they're barely out of vision, huh? How about that? So, well, he's just going to keep his units here anyway. He wants to be safe. He knows his opponent has those Overlords. And the Zergling's just going to come home. He has a ton of Zerglings. This is so much for Lowly. But 3 Colossi on the field now for NaNiwa. He has that range upgrade. He has +2 attack. He's getting +3 attack. He's going to be in a really great position to fry some Zerglings, but like I said, it's all going to come down to these drops. And look, another Overlord came. The Overlord did come over from over here, and that's the cool thing about Overlord speed. He came right on over, immediately pooped creep on that again. And, well, NaNiwa, his income is severely limited. We have a max out now for Lowly. Keep in mind, this is not your usual max out. Typically, a Zerg player maxes, you'd say, okay, well, he's just maxed out because he has 30 roaches, and they take up a ton of supply. They're not that strong. But Zerglings, if properly used, this is 100. This is a 200 real supply we have here for Lowly. These Zerglings and Banelings can very quickly win him this game with this drop play. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to work. The Colossus army is actually vulnerable because it's not near any sort of wall to protect it. The sentry count is somewhat reasonable. They all have, well, 2 of them have full energy, and 2 of them only have two force fields. So we could see Lowly just try to drop on this, but I feel like he's just going to sit here defensively and get out Broodlords. In all honesty, that's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to push out or be aggressive. Trying to mine away some of the minerals in the main base there. Could probably transfer them over to the saturation here. The Zergling drop finally hits the natural expansion, pulling some of these back, and then another Zergling drop is going to hit the main base, but the Stalker is already prepared for it. Lowly, he's keeping NaNiwa on his toes, slowing him down in any way that he can, and now a bunch of Zerglings are headed towards that third base. Lowly is going to try to shut it down. He's moving the Zerglings in. The Colossi beginning to fire. The sentries are here. Force fields going down, blocking them out. Lowly says, okay, well, I'm not going to push into that. 8 Broodlords are on the way, though. You just get a bit of a gut check against NaNiwa. Says, hey, man, let's just make sure you're still awake here. I know I haven't been pushing you too hard lately, so I love that. A 3-pronged aggression. And, well, there's a ton of Zerglings, and there's 8 Broodlords on the field now. So this is a very real number of forces. NaNiwa needs to be, without a Stargate, without a Vortex, this is going to be super hard. He's basically hoping to just win a straight-up engagement by being able to just blow through the Zerglings with the Colossi and blink the Stalkers up. Now, if you guys recall, in game number 1, we did have NaNiwa blink up into Lowly's Broodlords to kill them because Lowly, as I stated, he is only on 3 bases. He's taking a 4th and a 5th now, but this War Prism is actually going to shut this base down. And you should see him just go back and harass the main as well. So that base will be shut down. The army for Lowly is so slow with these Broodlords, but the Stalker count is very, very high, has +3 attacks, so he's going to have a lot of damage he can do to this. Lowly needs to keep his units a bit closer to his Broodlords. He cannot afford to get caught. The other cool thing is, though, if he blinks into the Broodlords, he can just drop Baneling straight on them. And here we go, starting to force the engagement. The third base for NaNiwa is under attack. The Broodlings beginning to do their dirty work. Now there's a drop in the main base. by NaNiwa into NaNiwa's base. But here we go, the Zerglings are running up the Colossi. Actually, some great force fields kill a ton of these Lings off. The Broodlord is actually starting to drop some creep here. But now the Broodlords are going to fight. A lot of the meat shield diminish. The Overlords dropping the Banelings. Shouldn't use their them right now on these Stalkers. They're focusing down the Broodlords. The Broodlord count is actually decreasing very quickly. But the Banelings get the Stalkers. There's a lot less anti-air available. And now the Broodlords are pretty much uncontested. But there are only 4 of them. So LoWeLy needs to be very careful. He took a lot of damage from this attack. Had to spend a lot of his resources putting units there. But he has a decent bank up. He can actually get more Broodlords if he wants to. He might be overextending with these. He's loaded up a couple more Banelings into this Overlord, and I like that he counters the blink up with the Overlord drop and the Zergling surround, but he's actually going to be able to get the Zerglings onto these Colossi, but 3 Colossi just kill Zerglings so quickly. There's only 1 single Broodlord left for LoWeLy. Fungal growth going down really nice, actually. Might be able to kill all these Stalkers, so a good play there, but the Sentry gets the last hit on that Broodlord. So LoWeLy lost a lot, but now he has the 4, actually just 3 base economy. Oh, he didn't necessarily start that 4th base. He's in a bit of trouble, I think. He's going to get an Ultralisk Cavern. Not 100% sure about that. I feel like he definitely has a setup necessary to try to build up. Possibly. The issue here is, though, if he could build 15 Corruptors, but he won't have enough money to actually go into Broodlords without a 4th base. So NaNiwa has his 4th base pretty safe. I mean, excuse me, his 3rd base pretty safe. Ultralisks, I guess it's okay because he's going to be able to just pump out a ton of Ultralisks at once because he has a good bank. But 9 Corruptors are actually going to be made as well, so I'm not so sure. I feel like if he's going to go Ultralisks, he should have gone Ultralisks. We'll have to see, though, how exactly this will pan out. Overseers scouring the map, Zerglings running a boot. And some just basically turtling by LoWeLy. He's playing very passively. He now has the 4th base, finally mining, ticking the gas there. And he's blocked additional bases for NaNiwa. He's watching most of them. Some of these units just kind of skirting around, as it were. These Stalkers blinking into the main base. He's trying to prepare for this drop. There are a lot of units in these Overlords. Basically just a ton of Zerglings for LoWeLy. And NaNiwa is up here. So it's a bit interesting. We have 4 Ultralisks on the way. The Corruptors are out. No Broodlords yet. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to work. I guess if he has enough time to sit here and mine, then he can accrue enough gas to actually put this together. And I love this. The Observer rolls up. He's like, okay, Spore, 3 Spines. You are not going to be able to push me with any number of Zealots. You're not going to be able to kill me with Harass. So it's very smart because he lost his 4th base here to that Harass. And, well, we have this Warp Prism running around, spawning these units that are just doing so much damage. Warps in 3 Zealots. He's going to go right over, and he is just most likely just going to try to shut this base down. There's a Zergling here. The Zergling forces are actually already here for LoWeLy, so this is going to be interesting. Here comes the Warp Prism. I feel like +3 attack Zealots are very strong, but these Zerglings are actually 3-2, almost 3-3, and they have the Adrenal Glands upgrade, but so many Zealots being warped in. This hatchery is going to have to be canceled. I'm not so sure you can actually just kill this. He can bring a lot of more forces over, but yeah, I guess he can kind of defend this, but the hatchery is very weak. It's very susceptible to harass. Almost actually killed. There's still 2 Zealots here. He needs to finish these Zealots. What is he doing? Oh my goodness, a blunder for 1 second. He actually kills that hatchery. What? So LoWeLy, a misclick. That hatchery dies, unfortunately. That's pretty ridiculous. Wow. Oh man, that's a facepalm worthy moment. Oh my goodness. Well, he's loaded up more Banelings into these Overlords. He's preparing himself for another attack. Man, LoWeLy, poor guy. He's got this Ultralisk Ball. He actually has enough reason. I guess he decided to invest in Banelings instead of Broodlords. And he's getting +2 Air Carapace, but he doesn't actually have any Broodlords, so that's kind of interesting as well. He might be waiting to be outside his opponent's base before he makes them, since Broodlords are, in fact, some of the slowest units alive. Now, Neural Parasite being researched, so he's possibly anticipating that NaNiwa is going for Mothership, but nice drop into the main base coming in for LoWeLy to move these Overlords out. He's going to pick off a Zealot. Now, the Zerglings are actually pretty strong versus the Stalkers. The Stalkers don't have armor upgrades, so with the Adrenal Glands and the +3 attack, the Zerglings are quite strong versus them, but the Blinkbacks by NaNiwa save him a good number of his units. But here we come. He's moving into the 3rd base. Their Force Fields aren't actually going to do anything. There's a lot of Colossi. They're actually an Immortal. There's 2 Immortals mixed in, and with these Archons, this is very strong versus Ultralisk composition. So he's just going to try to push in here. He has the Corruptors prepared. He may try to move in. Now he does have the Banelings in these Overlords prepared for a drop. So he has some options available to him. But NaNiwa, all he needs to do is survive this push, really. Lowly has a good bank available. I feel like he should just pull back. I think Lowly should pull back, turn all of these Corruptors into Broodlords, and he might be able to just bust this through. But here comes the Ultralisks. He's beginning to attack. The Baneling drops hitting. Archons dying. Colossi falling. The Corruptors need to get in and do a little bit more damage. There we go. All the Colossi are dead. The Ultralisks, however, are also dead. So the meat of this composition is gone for the most part. The Stalkers are going to blink up, chase these Infestors, and well, Lowly now, he's building 7 Overlords. Because I guess he wants to build a Remax pretty quickly. He lost a lot of Overlords there, so he is supply blocked at the moment. And I guess, I don't know what he's going to do here. He could turn all these Corruptors into Broodlords, and I think that'd be the best decision. But I still don't even know if that's going to be enough, because just Ultralisk, Stalker, Archon, it's a little bit iffy. The Ultralisks don't do bonus damage to the Archons. This isn't Heart of the Swarm. They are pretty strong versus the Stalkers, but the Stalkers can split, they can blink, and here we go. A bunch of Broodlords, 7 on the way. 7 Broodlords and 5 Ultralisks. This is an interesting army composition for Lowly, because now he's reached a point where if NaNiwa tries to blink in with these Stalkers and just kill Lowly, the Ultralisks are right under there, and the Ultralisks do that bonus damage to the Stalkers, so you can't micro away from Ultralisks if you're blinking into them, guys. Keep that in mind. Common sense 101. So this is an interesting setup for Lowly. I think NaNiwa's greed about not taking a 4th base may end up killing him. He is running out of gas. This truck cannot drive forever, and with Broodlords here, this is so scary. He's actually pulled probes to help tank. NaNiwa, I feel like he should have taken a 4th base. I almost feel like he's just throwing this game at this point. He really doesn't have too much behind this, and the supply is favoring Lowly. He took a bunch of great fights, but here it comes. Ultralisks right under the Broodlords. Broodlords unleashing pain across all these units. Fungal growths going down. The Stalkers are going to blink up, but they blink right up into the loving arms of these Ultralisks, ripping them to pieces. There's still 6 Broodlords available, and there's NaNiwa does the double. I don't even know what to call that. He just. Good game, guys. That was a really funny series to watch. NaNiwa loses 3-2 Lowly, taking this best of 5. I can't believe it. Really well played by our Zerg player, I have to say. NaNiwa definitely seemed that last game like he was on tilt. I really feel like NaNiwa could have won that after winning those fights, but he just seemed a bit tilted. He threw away a ton of units. And, yeah, so, I mean, I guess that happens. But, guys, we have one more match coming up. It's going to be Empire's Cost versus VP BenQ Slivko TVZ. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with our next Best of 5.